play of the game from way down.
1, 2, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bob Stastinko gonna find Rainer.
Oh, the life finder keeps Maev up. It was going to be a close thing.
And healing, what? Get out of, no! No!
Triple stun again. Big flanks coming out from the Blaze.
It's a death metal though.
Death metal into the double, triple kill.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. It's Season 7, Week 6. And tonight we've got a game for you coming out of D East. It's FFN the Pancakes versus 2Calculated2Throw. Let's take a look at where these teams are currently located in the standings. We've got 2Calculated2Throw sitting at number 2, 20 points, right behind House of Ches. FF and the Pancakes down at number 9 with 8 points, so a win from them would put them in playoff seeding above Tryhards, and of course, 1 or 2 points for 2Calculated2Throw will put them right up at the top there. So an important game for both of these teams as we wind down closer to the end of the season. We do have our maps here. Take a quick look at those. FF and the Pancakes banning out, let's see, Battlefield of Eternity and Volskaya Foundry. 2Calculated2Throw banning out the Sky Temple and Towers of Doom, and here we go with Cursed Hollow. Going to be the selection of FF and the Pancakes right at the beginning there. And it sounds like the teams are both... Oh no, I didn't get this updated. Let me go ahead and fix the title here. This is Week 6. We got FF to E to the East. FF and the Pancakes versus 2Calculated2Throw. All right, I'm good at this game, guys. I've done this once or twice. You'd think I'd know how to do this by now. And let's go ahead and update the stream with that information. There we go. But game's ready to go. It's set up. We're going to Cursed Hollow. Let's hop over to this draft and see what is going on. So, first band coming up here. I just want to make sure that I didn't screw anything up with the meat hall. I think I have the right thing set up here. Okay, good. First band gonna be Zeratul. Zeratul has kind of fallen out of favor in general, but he still can be a pretty impactful hero. On the other side, we're gonna see an Arthas ban. So, some interesting early bans here. Arthas, I've seen him played here, especially with, like, say, Abathur or Greymane, Raynor, getting the value out of the slows. Let's see. So, Cursed Hollow. So we don't really have to deal with most of the outstanding bans. Of course, Kira not yet available, so they don't even have to worry about popping off with a ban on Kira yet. What else do we have out there? Brightwing banned on Dragonshire and Volskaya. Into the Fray banned on Volskaya. And Chen's Purifying Brew banned on everything. Now we're going to see the Imperious ban, so possibly targeting the solo laner, as Arthas just as often in the solo lane as he is in, probably even more so even in the solo lane than the main. tank roll. So first pick is going to be Kael'thas, and Kael'thas is a pretty easy basic hero to assume is going to be at the top of the pick list in most of the divisions. Go ahead and get the teams set up with their names here. We're going to see Artanis and Rhaegar. So Artanis, not used often outside of Battlefield of Eternity, but does have really good pressure with the bosses. So if they want to pick up, you know, bosses quickly, then I can see them taking the Artanis. He's also pretty annoying to kill. So if you know what your opponent's solo lane is going to be, then that's where you can really build your solo lane against them. Holy smokes, these names are going to be a whole pain in the neck. But we see Ana and Diablo. Now, Diablo has fallen pretty far out of favor, so I'm interested to see how this turns out for them, because the win rates for Diablo are generally pretty low in a lot of the divisions, and I don't honestly know why, because they didn't really change anything about him. They kind of built everything else based on Diablo. So, you know, it just him isolating himself with shadow charges, you know, puts himself into kind of dangerous positioning often, which then leads to teams just turning and burning. We're going to see the Johanna band. So, as yet, no auto attackers on the side of 2Calculated2Throw. What? 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 I don't know what's happening here. Okay, so, all right. We're going to see some... Basically, they're going to split off, and they're just going to try to push all of the lanes that they possibly can. And you know what? I mean, if you're too calculated at this point, you got to be looking at this going, how the heck do we deal with this? What is the way that we punish the murky pick with an Abathur? And the reality of it is that Abathur on top of Artanis on top of murky is already going to be difficult. And now they've got a Valeera. All of these heroes can actually significantly benefit from an Abathur hat and really provide a 1v1 with major advantage. So I don't know, we'll see. As we get into game number 1 here between FFN the Pancakes and 2Calculated2Throw. Give me 1 second, I gotta pop over to one other page just to make sure that the NGS thing doesn't pop up in case people do go there. And we're back. See? Just a brief moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, game number 1, Cursed Hollow between FFN the Pancakes and 2Calculated2Throw. We've got FFN the Pancakes on the blue side. This is going to take me a second. We'll start with the easy ones. We got Stampy on Valeera, Mr. Sue on Artanis, CPP on... Oh, you got me on Rhaegar. Exy? We'll say Exy. We'll go with Exy on the Abathur, and Jaeger on Murky. For 2Calculated2Throw, we have Fear on Varian, Jurgenderb on Kael'thas, Hunter X on Junkrat. Varian going to be played by Fear, and X Havoc on Diablo. And so, once again, we do see the team splitting up. We've got Artanis in the top, Murky in the bot lane, And that's exactly what I expected, but Varian gonna get caught by the Valeera here, rotating up, and it looks like this could be the first kill of the game right out of the gate onto that Varian. And that's gonna be the danger here, is the Valeera is gonna be lurking around in this game, looking for targets with an Abathur hat, ready to just kill a target. And there's Varian right there. Fun and interactive. Indeed. We're gonna see maybe a kill onto the Murky here as the, I guess, the first official kill for 2Calculated2Throw. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't see his egg, but it is there in the corner. And now Valeera coming down in the bot lane. So we really have kind of 2.5 solo laners as Artanis is going to start work on the Bruiser camp, and that's exactly what he should be doing. First going to the Bruiser camp, and then 2Calculated coming over here working on their giants, their siege giants. But again, here's Valeera without the Abathur hat, though. I think if she had the Abathur hat from the beginning, that would have been a dead Kael'thas, as he was already very low without the aid from the Abathur hat. But with that stealth, she's gonna be able to just run away. They do get the knockout there. And we've got the siege giants going in the bot lane now. But Murky already pressuring this fort wall, getting 2/3 or so of the tower down. So somebody's gonna have to babysit Murky, and they've got to do it relatively safely. Let's take a look at those talents, since we haven't done that. As we do get the, is that a fishy deal, is that what I call it? Yeah, the bribe stacks for Murky. So, you know, realistically, I think that probably the best hero for that would be the Kael'thas, because I think he's the only one that can really consistently clear, other than Varian. But we've got Varian up here in the top lane, and his wave clear's not amazing. So his wave clear into the Abathur, not gonna get too far. And I'm interested to see how they split this now, because I can't imagine we're gonna see a heavy commitment to the tributes coming out from the Pancakes. Good call, checking that bush from Junkrat as Diablo charges in here. Is by himself. They do get the sleep onto Valeera, and so they've got a 4-man here in the bottom. And it looks like they'll be able to pick up that tribute. So certainly, you know, and already at the beginning of a game, the Abathur comps don't provide, you know, it's very difficult sometimes to get the tributes. So 2Calculated2Throw, if they want to win this game, really just have to keep the pressure up. There's, again, an Abathur. They do get the kill onto the egg, but at the cost of a Diablo. And they're not even quite gonna get the tower here, it looks like. Maybe they might. Those archer minions might MVP that. Nope, not quite. And we do have Mule, so Mule's gonna heal that tower right back up here, unless somebody goes down to fix that up. No damage on the top wall. So anyways, they're going to have to keep that pressure up in these lanes. They're going to need to make sure that they get the curses. But not only that, they actually have to get value out of the curses. And again, I mean, with the Murky, with the Artanis, with the Abathur, they have to be careful about where they're going to get value. If they split it up, you know, 3-1-1, for example, they could find themselves with a dead character. And just exactly that, as this time Junkrat not checking the bush and pays for it. So this might actually be a tribute going over to the Pancakes, and it looks like that's exactly the case. We see the Kael'thas getting silenced, Diablo charging in onto Valeera, and they do get the kill. And I have to say, that is an extremely important kill for them. Keeping Valeera off the map for any length of time is going to provide more value to them, give them the ability to rotate fairly safely. And you know, I almost wouldn't mind seeing an early boss play from these guys, especially with the Twin Blades Varian. You know, as long as Varian was safe. Oh my goodness, we're gonna see the early boss play on the opposite side. Guys, that's not what I meant, but okay. And right now, anyways, they have no idea. I mean, if they get this fort all the way down, then okay, fair. That's a good win for them. The tribute, however, all the way in the top lane, they don't have any globals. And there it is. But check this out. Top lane, boss play. And that gets the Pancakes just a little bit closer to 10. It makes it so that they have a little bit more of an advantage. Can you imagine a double Valera into the 2Calculated team? So they can't just leave this boss, because this boss will eventually get that fort. But that means that now Artanis making his way down to the bottom boss, as they have level 10 as well. So whatever value this boss gets, whatever value the next boss in the bot lane gets, ultimately is a big win for the Pancakes here. And losing Soak in the mid lane and in the bot lane, yeah. So, oh my gosh, I thought for sure they would go clone, and they go for the monster. What is happening? What is this game? Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm casting a quick match. And it looks like the Abathur, Monstrosity, and Murky are going to go ahead and get this bottom fort. So ultimately equalizing out the bottom lane pressure. Also, they're going to have now a boss going into the bot lane right up to the keep, because that's going down in just a moment. The tribute's near the bottom, so ultimately they need to go there, but they're not going to be able to get there before Murky's able to pick this up. So 2 and 2 on the tributes. And we do have Valera going in here trying to get that kill onto Hunter X. As the full team was looking to back to defend this boss. But ultimately only the front line, Diablo and Varian, able to make it back before it's going to get onto this keep wall. Now the good thing for them is that the tribute is in the bot lane here. So it's at least relatively nearby. Even if it takes them some time to kill this boss, they'll be able to get there and put up a fight. And I don't know that the Pancakes, even with the group that they've got, I don't know that they can actually put up a strong 5v5 fight. Unless they've got like a fully built up Abathur monstrosity, which by the way, I don't think that exists right now. I think it got killed by the tower. So here they come. But even if they don't get this tribute, even if 2Calculated2Throw just picks this up with absolutely no contest, I don't think that the Pancakes care. They have enough of the wave clear. Apparently the NGS stuff is still popping over. I'm gonna have to fix that. So they do get the curse, and now they're gonna get started on to this bottom keep. And again, that's what they have to do. They have to keep this aggression very heavy. And you know what? I should probably go over those talents here. Level 10 available for both teams. So we do have the Octograb, the Smoke Bomb, Ancestral. I did mention that monstrosity, and the Purifier Beam, rather. And we've got Warbringer for Varian, Riptire, Apocalypse, Pyroblast. Did I see that Pyro? It is going out onto the Valera. She's going to live. That's plenty of health, almost 3,000. So she's fine, but it does force her to back away. And Nano Boost available as well. They're starting to look at the core, and I am 100% okay with this. I don't think that there's much that the Pancakes can do with the team that they've got here. And there goes the Apocalypse. It's going to hit 2. Purification Salva, or Beam, rather, Purifier Beam, chasing down Diablo. He's going to use that Shadow Charge to get away from it. And they are starting damage onto the core. 90%. X-Havoc has no healing there for just a... Or actually, he got the bonus healing. Diablo is going down, but again, they do have a Varian with presumably second wind, so he is trying to stay alive from the core. The Mule out there trying to keep the core alive, and Varian ends up going down. Jaeger as well, so now it's a 3-1, and Valera's not done. She's going to keep chasing on this, and she just might be able to get the kill onto Galderais. It looks like that is going to be the case, but Jurgen Derb and Hunter X are going to make it away. So still 40% left on this core. However, they do have a Mule. It was just used, so they've got a short bit of time here. The Pancakes did get some pretty significant value in top lane, so they got half of this keep down before they had to run away. And if Fear can get on this just a moment earlier, that could have been a great steal from the Murky there, but instead they're just gonna have to clear it out. Not entirely sure about the Octo Grab there. It's a short cooldown. I'm assuming he just wanted to get out of this area and head back to the bottom half of the map. But that's going to give the opportunity now for 2Calculated to get in on the boss. But Valera's lurking nearby, so any one of these low health heroes could be a problem for her, but it looks like she's just gonna get taken out. Diablo getting the charge and the nano boost, Pyroblast coming out and sending her back from whence she came. Welcome everybody from the Nexus Gaming Series. Hey, check out these comps. I don't know what's going on, and I've been here for the last 15 minutes. Thank you, Alice. I appreciate the feedback. But you know what? The bottom line is that these teams currently fairly even in their pressure. Yes, there's the bot lane, which has lost a keep, and now we're going to see potentially the value of the 2Calculated comp here, as with this boss they're going to be able to get some pretty good pressure. Valera is back on the map, along with the Abathur hat, can still pretty quickly kill some of these heroes like that Junkrat or the Kael'thas or maybe that Ana in the back. Do you cast in... Do I cast in whose sleep? Do I cast in my sleep? I never sleep. And here we go. Half health on Junkrat in just the opener. And once again, now, this keep goes down. The boss is at half health. The mule is killed, so 71% healed up. Riptire coming out. Not really any targets that are low. I guess the Murky. Purification Salvo going out onto Jurgenderb. And I'm sorry, beam onto Jurgenderb. But they're going to keep pushing onto this core, 20% now. And it looks like this time they make it all the way to the end. GG's coming out. Jugger Rob, this is game 1, yes. So that was winner, red team. All right. So 7 kills to 7 kills. Kind of surprising to see that. And you know what? The Pancakes, I gotta say, they did what they wanted to do pretty well. Just not quite able to get where they needed to. You know, they were able to ignore most of the tributes, except for the ones that were their heavy macro play on the bosses allowed them to pick up basically for free. But then even in the curse, when they got cursed, they were able to get almost the full keep at the top lane. So they certainly made the comp work well for them, but just not well enough, not into what they were facing. The Valera and Abathur were really strong, getting some kills early in the game and able to really lock down targets for, you know, a good long amount of time. But ultimately, just not enough. Not enough what they needed. All right, let's take a look at these talents here. Again, level 16 just barely picked up by 2Calculated. They were a little bit behind in the XP. And as the Abathur providing a lot of value there. Let's see, what else did I miss from chat? The glorious blue team comp, indeed. Thanks for the bits, Weenus, much appreciated there. All right, popping off with the alphas and the als in chat. Love to see it. All right, so hope everybody got value out of the mead hall today. Make sure that you stop by and take that survey regarding the potential for breaks. If you're a caster, make sure you take the caster survey. And the rest of you take your appropriate survey. While we're waiting on the teams to show up here with the next match, or next game, Don't forget to schedule your flex matches. I think I've said that about 100 times today, but I'm going to say it one more time. Don't forget to schedule flex matches. Only 2 weeks left in the season. We're at the very end of week 6. And somebody just followed the NGS channel. I'll say thank you for them. I mean, they may say it too, but I'll say it for you right now. Let's see, what else do we have? The bands mentioned, Brightwing Band out on the Dragonshire and Volskaya, as she is doing naughty things with her Soothing Mist again, allowing her to heal everybody else around her. And you know what, let's check in on these teams here. Let's see, so that was... Let's see. Jaeger. Find out what they want to go with. How y'all doing tonight? 26 viewers. Welcome, everybody. Big burst from that NGS meat hall. Oh, we've got a game. Well, we've got one person. We have a lobby anyways. Looks like we're going to go to Infernal Shrines. Infernal. Let's see. And I believe this is picked by the Pancakes. So depending on how this match goes, we might even pick up another cast if there's one after this. I think there were a couple. In fact, you know what? I'm going to pull up the page just so that I can look. I mean, I'd rather see a 3-game series out of these teams because that'd be a whole lot of fun to watch. But it looks like... Holy smokes. Yeah, everybody got picked up today. It looks like the only match available is the 9:45. Save the Murloc versus Bane Choke. And I'll send a message to them just to let them know, just in case. Oops, wrong chat. All right, let's see. So we do have, it looks like, everybody in the chat. Let's see if they're ready to go. Looks like they're all on the right side, except we have a new person. Make sure that I adjust that on the list here. Let's see. We have 2 new people, right? No, just 1. See, yep. And then on the other side, didn't we just play these guys, right? Feels like Storm League. Fear. Okay, so just the one, as we've got a substitute. Letting the teams know that we are ready to go. Anything else you guys found interesting about the meat hall? Here we go, into Infernal Shrines. Right into the draft. Oh, I was really confused there for a second because I'd written down that Artanis was the first ban last game, and I distinctly remembered him being played. First pick to 2Calculated2Throw. You know what? Moist Weenus, we've got a great place. We got a nice house. It's in Santa Ana. It's not too far away from the airport. not too far away. It's actually about equal distance between the airport and the convention center. So you know what? You are welcome to stop by. I don't know that we can host everybody from NGS, but we could certainly have a few of you stop by and have some drinks. And we're going to see the Gul'dan and Zeratul bands here. So once again, you know, seeing the Valera that last game, it doesn't surprise me that they would ban out the Zeratul, because the stealthy heroes with the burst, and there's that Valera ban, you know. I mean, they didn't win the game, but Valera really made it very difficult for them to play into that. So probably worth the ban, even if the Pancakes were not considering it, which they may have. And then Alex Straza. So Alex Straza gets a lot of value here. What am I looking for? Ah, that's why. I was in the wrong section. And we're going to see that Kael'thas pick up right away, once again by Jürgen Derb there. And, you know, Kael'thas, already a strong hero, especially on maps like this where you can drop living bombs onto shrine monkeys and spread that living bomb onto heroes, getting that additional damage from that level 7 talent. We're going to see Morales and Raynor, so interesting pickup right out of the gate there. You know, Infernal Shrines isn't one you often see with Juice Pirates, but it certainly can be. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see a Tyrael out of the Pancakes, especially after that interesting little setup we had. Taco Bell. I don't know that Taco Bell is going to be on my top 10 list of places to visit when I'm in California. Just throwing that out there. And we're going to see the Arthas ban. FF played Juice Pirates at least once earlier this season. So yeah, I mean, it would not surprise me to see that. And there's the Tyrael ban saying, yeah, no, we're not going to allow that craziness to happen. So now they still, I mean, I don't know. They still could try running it with some other things. I mean, I've seen it run with like Zarya's and Anubrax and stuff like that. I think the Morales is the most important part, and the rest of it is just how quickly can you burn it. Just for the record, this is on a delay, so that Anubrax pickup was definitely before my voice said it on the chat. Just throwing that out there. I should probably put the teams in on this here. But so we've got a Morales with now Zul'jin and Raynor. So ultimately, quite a bit of auto attack damage here. We do have the Johanna on the other side. I wouldn't hate to see a Cassia here if they play it. But it's going to be Dahaka and Lunara going over. So Lunara probably a really good pick into Morales. You know, spreading those dots around, making it very difficult. And that gives them both Lunara and Kael'thas dot damage to really mess with them. So I think I like that pickup. They don't have any real good way to deal with the Juice Pirates, though. That's the only real, you know, thing. And now with an Artanis, like even more so, they could do it. I mean, that's a lot of, you know, sustained auto attack damage, and Artanis with amateur opponent can still get a lot of value there. So we'll see. Just calling it that I'm not going to be surprised if we see them medevacing into forts. But here we go. Game number one. Game number one was the last game that we played. Game number two is the one we're going to see right now on Infernal Shrines between FF and the Pancakes and 2Calculated2Throw. And who are you guys rooting for? I gotta say, I mean, I gotta say, I want to see this juice work. I want to see it work. Or I want to see it, you know, fail miserably. I'm fine with either one. But these teams are not set up in the thing yet. Rainer and is playing a new crack. All right, so hopefully I have everybody set up on the right places here. I think I do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number two. Game number two between FF and the Pancakes and 2Calculated2Throw. Let's get these teams introduced. We've got Exy on Zul'jin, Jaeger on Morales, Stampy on Artanis, CPP on Rainer, and Mr. Sue on Anubarak. That's for the Pancakes. For 2Calculated2Throw, we've got the sub-in Gen Confusion on Dahaka, Fear gonna be on Lunara, Jurgenderb on Kael'thas, X Havoc on Johanna, and Galdriice on Rhaegar. Let's check out these level 1 talents. I want to see something crazy. Well, we see Exterminators, so maybe I don't think it was necessary, but that's fine because it doesn't affect the structures. That's the one thing that I would say is if it affected structures, sure. But we do have the amateur opponent. Zul'jin going with that Headhunter. I don't know if his other talent, the one that keeps his all of his grievous throw damage going, if that affects structures or not. We do have the Beetle build here for Anubarak, so once again, a little bit more towards that the juicy pirates thing. On the other side, though, we've got the Mana Addict, Laws of Hope, and the Electric Shield, Lightning Shield for Rhaegar. Looks like Rhaegar's gonna stop, get to work on the siege camp. I thought Stampy was going to as well, but Artanis instead mounting up and coming down into the bot lane. Rainer safely soaking this as Artanis coming around the back does see that there are a lot of health bars over here. Probably can't jump in on that by himself. And Rhaegar finishing up the mid lane camp, and now that they've got all this pressure, they're going to go ahead and be the aggressors into the Pancake side as well. So 3 camps going to get picked up for 2Calculated2Throw, really pushing hard on this this macro pressure. And we see the Pancakes clearing up the mid camp. We saw Rainer here in the bot lane being real careful about his positioning and just clearing out and then running out and queuing the lane. So rotation down by Rhaegar and Lunara, and here come the rest of the team as well. So they're really making sure to get value out of the XP in each of these lanes. And let's check in top lane. How are we doing up here? Exy versus Gen Confusion. So Zul'jin not able to stack. That's, probably one of the big challenges here is I think that it would have been better to put Rainer up there, but we see the camp invade again from 2Calculated2Throw, but this time the Pancakes not really allowing it to happen. Well, I guess they kind of are. They only have 3 of them here. Rainer's still in the bot, and Zul'jin a little bit late coming back this way. So once again, the camp invade here from 2Calculated2Throw, and that's going to give them the opportunity to get their Shaman camp here and then head immediately down to the Punisher. I'm a little bit surprised about this. The Zul'jin I think would have been better with the group. Rainer then sitting on the Dahaka probably, and if they can then sit in these middle and bot lanes with rotation XP value, I think that's where they get the benefit. But here's where this juice opportunity comes in is that they've got all 5 of them up here while the rest of 2Calculated2Throw is in the bot lane. Looks like this is a Punisher, or a Frozen Punisher rather, so they want to be a little bit careful maybe about what's going on here, but setting this up so that they can come in and easily clear out the fort. If they can clear out the fort before the Punisher, that's great, but and before level 10, before the medevac's available. But right now it is a 5 versus 4 in the top lane, and it's the Pancakes who are having to back away right now. Let's take a look at these talents again here, as we're starting to see the level 7s picked. And it's going to be Morales getting caught by Dahaka and pulled back. Lunara at 35 now on the Punisher. And so we're going to see some counter pressure here onto the wall in the top lane from 2Calculated2Throw. And the Pancakes are just too low to really push back here. They do get the swap onto Dahaka. The wall is down, so he's going to be able to walk by. And it looks like, oh no, the living bomb spread from Raynor as he died onto the Zul'jin. And in this case, Artanis getting the swap. But unfortunately, when you swap an unstoppable target, they don't move, and you do. So we're going to see 2Calculated2Throw getting 2 forts potentially out of this as the wave is coming in. Bot fort is down, still have half of the Punisher's health. I mean, if Lunara hangs out on this, because she can see everybody up top here. There's 4 of them up top. I mean, she could even get damage on this wall, which, I mean, the Punisher's going to do by itself thanks to its ability to freeze structures. And once again, like, I feel like even more so that they're showcasing their goal is to ultimately, you know, hop into that medevac and burn these structures down. Right now it's just a 5 versus 1, Dahaka being the only person up here. Camps being picked up everywhere else on the map, and level 10's now available for 2Calculated2Throw. We're going to see the Leaping Strike, Isolation, Ancestral Recall, Ancestral Healing. There we go. Ancestral Recall is Shaman stuff. And let that be a lesson to you. Don't back in the middle of the lane where everybody can watch you. Pyroblast and the Falling Sword coming out from Janna. So a very aggressive team. But we do see the bottom keep going down with this Khazra camp. So all of the macro pressure coming out from 2Calculated2Throw really giving them just huge advantage here. And you know, in all seriousness, I mean, if they medevac into that keep, 2Calculated2Throw could just go straight to the core. And then you have a core race, except you still have a keep to go through. Isolation going out, but the tongue just barely missing. Falling Sword also not quite able to land where they wanted it to. But still 2 levels to go for the Pancakes to catch up. Well, I guess 1 level into a little bit as they're starting to get some of that XP in the top lane. This is turning to be a very fast game here. 7 minutes and already level 11, almost 12 for 2Calculated2Throw. And we see Artanis in the bot lane doing his absolute best to get as much XP as possible so that they can get level 10. But I think that their plans are getting a little bit washed out by this heavy structure damage coming out from 2Calculated2Throw and the significant level advantage too. Pyroblast going out onto Raynor. I think he might be okay. He did use his Adrenaline Rush. He did make it out okay. So we're going to see a Nubrak throwing out that Impale, getting the stuns, slowing the team down. Artanis still trying to get to 10. They do get it. So there's the Hyperion. We see Tazdingo, Cocoon. It's going to be Tazdingo popped, but he's still got a dot on him. So might actually die as Falling Sword coming in just barely hits him before he gets in, but he does make it back into the base there. We see the suppression pulse from Artanis. Still no ult from Morales. But again, now with 2 lanes, 2 keeps down, I mean, this is a fantastic place to be for 2Calculated2Throw. They own this map right now. Level 13's coming online for them as well. And this is going to be a Mortar Punisher in the mid lane. It's the 1 lane that... and there's the medevac. It's the 1 lane that they've got a fort in. And here comes the medevac. They're going right onto the keep. So 2Calculated2Throw is pretty close by. Here comes the falling sword. It's gonna hit 2. The fort already at half. The flame strike's going out, obliterating this team, and it looks like maybe Stampy can finish it. Not quite. So worst case scenario, as Alice clearly not happy with that result, really wanted to see that keep go down, because now they're in a really dangerous place, and really the value there goes to that Kael'thas hitting 4 members of the Pancakes with that flame strike, and of course at that level 7 getting the additional damage of 8% of the player health when hitting more than one target. All right, and they are in the top lane here, setting up once again for another medevac. This time we do see I think this is about to be the end of the game right here. We do see the 2Calculated2Throw in the mid lane going with the Punisher, and I honestly think that Dahaka here, I don't think he's going to get as much value as he'd like. And they're going to be able to get onto this core. The shielding is already gone. The mid keep is going down, or has gone down rather. And it's, oh my god, this is so close. 20%. Oh, the Punishers. They're gonna barely pull it out with the Punisher. 7%, 10.5 minutes. So close. What a game. What a finish. Yikes. That is absolutely nuts. Hey, cut it out. So 0 kills to 10, you know, that's not uncommon for a Juice Pirates, but so close. Let's see if we can get Fear in here for a quick interview. Just for a brief moment here, let me pop up the talents again for everybody so that you can check that out. And let's see, let's hop into a lobby. Let's see, I already had it set from the other. So what a game there with the Juice Pirates. Some crazy comps coming out from FF and the Pancakes. And trying to see if Fear wants to join me here, but only going to give him a moment. All right, let's see. All right, there we go. So we've got Fear in here from 2Calculated2Throw. Congratulations on your 2-0 victory. I imagine you've got to be excited after the finish of that game.
Yeah, 7% was a little bit closer than we'd like, I'll be honest.
I can imagine so. And I was, you know, I mentioned it about, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes before that when you guys got that first keep down, I said, hey, listen, once they medevac in, I feel like, you know, 2Calculated2Throw can just march to the court because there's still a keep up in the top lane and they can just win the game. You guys elected to go back, of course, because you were closer at that point, and just barely managed to save that keep. So how confident were you guys feeling at that point when you were able to kill them before they got the keep down? And obviously you were getting that next Punisher.
We were pretty confident. We knew that it would take them a second to go back and finish it off. They had to medevac in, obviously, because they couldn't go through the walls quickly enough. So we were pretty confident with all the camps on our side that we'd be able to outpush them. Obviously, they had all of that siege damage on their team, so it was closer than it should be. But we were pretty confident at that point.
Sure. And game number one, so tell me about, what you guys were looking at as that comp came together with the Valera and the Abathur and all that stuff. I'm interested to know how your team, felt about that, and ultimately what you felt you needed to do to be successful in that game.
So as soon as we saw the Abathur and the Murky get picked up, at first we were real confused. We didn't know what was going on. But it was Cursed Hollow, so since it's such a big map, it was obvious that they're going to try and outpush us. And they grabbed that Valera, which means that they're really relying on ganks. So other than me being dumb and walking into a bush that one time,
right at the beginning,
we tried to stay together as much as possible. And so our whole strategy going into that was just stick together and blow up Valera when she comes out of stealth.
Sure, sounds good. And so I'm going to keep this fairly short because I'm going to try to sneak in another game here, another cast in just a moment. So,
nice.
I want to ask you just what was your favorite moment out of the series tonight? It was a pretty quick run.
I think it's got to be the core race at the end.
It was a good moment.
That was really exciting. They really had a shot to win there. I was sweating a little bit, I'll be honest.
For sure. Alrighty.
MVP is definitely the Impaler camps, though.
No doubt, no question about that. Your guys' early macro play, like pushing into that, knowing that they wanted to get the medevac and really juice pirates all the way to the end. I mean, without that, you guys don't win that game, right? I mean, they played it pretty solidly at the end there. But you guys getting those Impalers, Lunara picking up that bottom Punisher, and working all the way to the keep on that first Punisher. Really was important to that.
The Punisher ended up going down to, I think, Impalers too.
The keep did, yes, went down to the Impalers. Yeah, the Punisher got enough wall damage, but then you guys were fighting top lane, and the keep went down to the Impalers as Artanis then went down. So
yeah, definitely Impalers MVP that match.
Yep. For sure. Well, hey, listen, fantastic games. Glad that I was able to cast these, and don't forget to clip that core race and send that in for the highlights. For sure. Before we take off, any shout-outs you'd like to make?
Shout out to Dahaka for playing great. Kept us in that, for sure. Keeping us aware of where the enemy team was. His call-outs were really good. So, Gen Confusion, MVP.
Good deal. Anybody else?
Everybody else played really smart. I mean, everybody except for me didn't really face check a whole lot, so no complaints there.
There was one face check that I do want to say, and I'm not saying this just because he's a friend of mine, but Hunter did a pretty good job of checking bushes up until the point where he didn't, and then he died.
The one time he didn't, he got blown up.
Yeah. The one bush, and that gave them a tribute. But you guys played very well on both maps against that team. They were very aggressive in that first game, and obviously wanted to play it pretty aggressive. I think Juice Pirates is a very aggressive comp. On the second game, you guys kept your cool and really played it well. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And I think that gives you guys first place in the standings as well. So good job on that.
It should bump us back up. Yeah.
Good deal.
I'm excited.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Have a great night. I hope you'll tune into the next game that I'm going to be casting in just a moment.
Yeah, definitely have it running. Thank you.
Good deal. All right, folks, that is the end of match number 1, but we've got another game coming at you here in just a moment. I thought the calendar said that it was Bancho versus Save the Murloc, but when I go to put in the details for Bancho, it says Bancho and Regen Anomaly. So I'm going to find out who's actually playing, but we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere, as you're going to want to watch this Div C game as well, Div C East. And we'll be right back.